Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Okay, let's start with your name and organization.
Charles Dorsey, Delamo Action Committee.
Lise, Matsunaga, Delamo Action Committee.
Great to have you all today. So I'm just going to ask y'all a couple questions about our stormwater project that we're doing. So how has your understanding of the water cycle improved since you started attending these workshops?
It's improved by the knowledge regarding how the watershed and the capture of the water actually with rain actually happens. So, and besides just rain barrels. So,
For me, it's become apparent how important the watershed program is for the city of Los Angeles and the different communities to be aware of how the watershed program affects them.
Right. And I'm going to build on that, Charles, what you just said. So when you think about rain and stormwater, what comes to mind on a community level?
Well, being new to the Delamo Action Committee, my only awareness of the water program was what I heard on the news in terms of things being washed out to the ocean, not knowing that there's more of an effect on a community level in terms of what's happening in the community. So I continue to become more knowledgeable about how that affects the community on a local level. So, which makes me more aware as I see things on the street and in my community.
Now, before that, Charles, when it rained, did you think of stormwater as a resource, and do you now?
I did not think of it as a resource, but I certainly do now, yes.
Oh, great. And for you, Liz?
Exactly the same, yes.
And then what about when you think about stormwater on a community level, what comes to mind?
Every drop is like gold, and it should be captured and used to its best that we can.
Great. So what connections do you see between stormwater management and environmental justice in your community? We'll start with you, Liz.
The fact that we want to keep it as clean as possible in regards to such as groundwater, but also going into the ocean, because otherwise it's just the pollution everywhere, and trying to, keep it as clean as possible.
So would you say that our EJ Stormwater Workshop helped you see those connections?
Yes, definitely.
And what about you, Charles? Stormwater and environmental justice. What now comes to mind after going through the workshops?
Well, I think it's imperative that the community and the EJ community works together in terms of preserving water and other things for the future of for our community.
In what ways do you feel more confident and better equipped to advocate for stormwater projects in your community?
For myself, I'm completely aware of what's happening in our community in terms of the Dominguez Channel running through the area and sort of the negative impact some folks in the area are having on the channel by dumping, by destroying property close to the channel that affects things that go into the channel and then into the river and then to the ocean.
Do you think, and this is a question for both you, Lise and Charles, when people think about the Dominguez Channel, do they think of it that it is a channel that does connect to the Pacific Ocean, or do they just think it's like a local watershed? What have you found in your work on the channel?
Well, as a kid growing up here in Los Angeles, I was always amazed when we had major rainfalls, and I would look at the canal and see how high the level had risen. And I remember my father telling me that how the river flows into the ocean to keep it from flooding the area. As I've grown older, you hear about people dumping oil and throwing clothes and other toxic items into the canal, which makes me more sensitive to what we need to do as not only as a community, but as the culture of this country to make sure that we improve things.
Uh, Growing up in landlocked area, I always considered or was told that all waters flow to the ocean. So, wanting to make sure that it is not polluted and, taking care of our Mother Earth, and no one else is going to be doing it up, or, you're not sure who's going to be there to take care of it, but we should all do our part.
So, what other water-related projects would you like to see in your community besides the Dominguez Channel? What other projects would you like to see?
Me personally would be more residents capturing water with rain barrels, or even doing a swale in their own landscape, such as my neighbor. So it, to go back into.
Yeah, I concur with Lise on that. Right now, top of mind is the channel, and being involved with the Llama Action Committee has opened my mind to other possibilities of how we can continue to help the community. So
That's really great. So y'all are looking at like smaller local projects, like how each person can help contribute to stormwater capture and reuse. Great. So, do you know where to get additional resources for future stormwater projects in your community?
Because of the Delamo Action Committee and learning about how the agencies work, some, yes, still have a lot more to learn.
yes, I agree. We're working closely with Public Works and other agencies, both private and nonprofit, to kind of expand our knowledge on that. So yes.